In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how I did $40,000 in just 2 weeks with a brand new dropshipping store. And I want to show you exactly the three factors that allows me to get high ROASs like 78, which is an anomaly, but possible with this strategy. 17, 3, 19, 5, 5, basically 4.5, 4.5, 2.5. You can see here, these are different campaigns for the same store. So I kind of figured out a strategy that works repeatedly. This here, you can see 2.39 and did 4K in sales with just this one ad. And same thing here, right? 3K, 2.38, and then 2X, right? So return on ad spend just means, ROAS, right? So you're going to hear me say ROAS. That just means return on ad spend. So I kind of broke it down into these three major things: ads, offers, and logistics. And if you stay with me through the entire video, there's some cheat codes and some cool things that I learned that you can implement right away that can pretty much increase your ROAS almost overnight. So first things first is understanding metrics, right? So the three basic things that you have to understand is your CPM, which just stands for cost per milli, right? How much does it cost for you to show your ads on Facebook? Your CPC, which is your cost per click, and then your CTR, which is your click-through rate. Before I dive into this, none of this will matter if you don't know how to actually pick a good product, because you can apply everything that I'm going to break down. But if your product sucks, this has no bearings on your ROAS. So my assumption is you already been on my channel and you've seen this video. If you haven't for some reason and you're coming across my channel for the first time, make sure you go back and watch this video when you're done with this video. Don't click off yet. Wait until you're done watching this video and learn exactly how I found my $5,000 a day dropshipping product for free, right? You don't have to spend a ton of money on different softwares and apps. All right, so assuming you have a good product that you know can scale, here are two main factors that most dropshippers make a mistake on. First thing is CPMs, right? So one thing that they make a mistake on is targeting too broad, right? We're going to show some examples down in just a moment, but a lot of you guys create ads that solve the problem, but you don't speak to a specific type of person, right? Your ads feel too much like an ad. Could be another reason why your CPMs, right, your cost per milli is too high. Maybe you're using AI UGC ads, right? And this is controversial. A lot of people now are talking about the benefits of AI UGC ads, video ads specifically, and how great it is. I really honestly think that this is better for the bigger brands that have more money to not only test a ton of different angles quickly with AI UGC, but also be able to actually create the best version of this. For a lot of you guys that I noticed that are trying to be successful with dropshipping and you're balling on a budget, you might sign up with Arc Ads or some type of AI tool and you might test it a little bit, but your ads don't look to the same level as a professional brand does that is using AI UGC. On top of that, a lot of these softwares cost a ton of money every single month, $100 to $200 a month. So you're really capped and your ads just don't look as good or feel as authentic. Even though the script might be good, the whole goal of AI UGC is for the consumer to feel as if they're hearing an honest review from a real customer. But your ads are clearly AI and people will not believe that. And it's actually doing the opposite of helping you scale. It's actually hurting your business. Another thing is that for some reason you still might be using interest-based targeting, right? You might go into a campaign, launch a campaign, and under the ad set level, you'll pick an interest. Do not do this, right? I don't know why people are still doing this. This has not been relevant for Facebook in years, and even more so now. Facebook does not like interest-based targeting. Very rarely can you test a little bit with it and kind of teach a new pixel who you're going after. There's some times where that can be beneficial, but when we talk about hitting high revenue numbers like $5,000 in a day consistently, you need to use broad, no interest targeting, right? Let Advantage Plus do its work. Let Advantage Plus find your targeting for you. I could be selling a bra for women and I still will not select any age, because there's times where I've sold gender specific products and I'll look in my customer dashboard of people that recently bought. I'll see a man would have, a man name, man email, I guess, right? It would be like Bob Jones, and they would have bought, on my store. And then you go in your ad dashboard and you'll see that you can actually sort by demographics of purchases. And you'll see that there will be a small fraction of men that might buy that, what you would believe to be a gender specific product for women. So nowadays, I just let the ad do all the targeting. Another thing that you might be struggling with and causing your CPMs to be so high is that your hooks are kind of weak. Right? The first 3 seconds of your video ads are very important. This is going to get people to stop the scroll, especially on Facebook and Instagram, where people are seeing a million pieces of content every single week or every single day. They need to have something that stands out. These two are the biggest right here, right? Most people, their CPMs are so high because they're either ripping other competitors or pulling them directly from Calidata, whichever dropshipper is doing this right now, right? If you're going to go find a winning product, you're probably just going to rip it directly from TikTok, or you'll find it from a TikTok shop or Calidata. And because you're using the exact same ad a ton of other dropshippers are using, you're going to cut your CPMs. You're going to actually increase your CPMs and make it way harder to be profitable. And then something else very important is that you're in a super competitive niche like weight loss, skincare, shapewear, anti-aging, makeup, hair, and you're selling a product that has no USP, right? What is a USP? Unique selling proposition. What is different about your product that the general consumer hasn't seen? If I was selling, let's say, a weight loss product, and it was, I don't know, a fat burner. If it's just another standard pill that we've seen 1,000 other people sell, most people that are looking to lose weight have probably already seen this weight loss supplement already, and are just gonna skip by it because it's like, I already seen this, I've tried it probably. But if you come in with this new like the GLP-1 patches, these are stickers that you put on your stomach that helps reduce your GLP-1 production and makes you lose weight. That is a completely different USP, right? That is a different way to try to lose weight than taking a standard pill, and more people are going to be more likely to want to try that. So the problem is that you're not doing that. You're finding a standard product that's been selling for years that everyone knows about, and then you're trying to rebrand it. Like, unless you're selling it to a completely different audience or a specific niche, right? If I was selling some weight loss pills, but I was looking to go after a certain type of person, which most of you guys aren't doing, then it doesn't make sense to do this, because your product has to be somewhat new, or you're selling the same old proven product to a new person. Okay. And then your offer and website isn't good enough, which we'll get to in just a moment. Now, that is a list of things, right, that could be going wrong under specifically just your ad performance. Something else too is targeting. With Meta's new updates and algorithm changes, right, it's all about creative volume. Constantly uploading new ads every single week to your ad account, right? So I recommend at least 5 to 10 to keep creatives fresh, but also ensure you have a winning angle. Nowadays, as we all probably can tell, ad fatigue happens at higher rates more than ever before, right? The same video ad probably will not last you more than a month nowadays, right? Especially if you're ramping this up pretty high. So you want to constantly be loading up new ads every single week in your ad dashboard, testing, either doubling down in an existing angle that already works, or testing some new angles, taking a small portion of your budget and testing some new angles, so you keep your pixel constantly learning and constantly getting better. Facebook is trying to make it easier for advertisers to win, so their systems are designed to allow us to focus more on the creative process than the actual media buying process. So you trying to set up all these different campaign types, all these different interest stacking, all that stuff is not as important nowadays as just creating good ads that get people to want to stay on the platform and not get upset and scroll by. The better of a job you can do speaking to your target audience in your ad, the more money you will make. Okay. So now let's just quickly use an example, right? So most people go wrong when they try to make a product or market a product like this electric toothbrush, for example. They'll say, if you want whiter teeth, get this toothbrush. Okay, great. If you want whiter teeth, a good marketer is going to define the you, right? Who is you? Is this stay-at-home moms? Is this athletes? Like who is the you? Right? So you'll start to see a higher ROAS when you start to say stuff. You start to say stuff like, pregnant moms with enamel deficiency, this smart toothbrush was made for you, right? This is how you're going to create a better marketing angle and get a higher ROAS. You're speaking to a specific person with a specific problem. Okay. Now, after listening to all these potential issues, you're probably like, yo, Alex, that's great. How do I know which problem is mine? How do I fix all these problems? What if I told you, the person watching this video right now, there's a very easy, simple process to make sure you check all these off, and I'm going to give you the exact format I use. Okay. So before we jump into offers, I want to give you how I personally script my ads. And the way I script my ads will actually resolve a lot of these problems, because not only will you tackle all of these, but you're going to be creating your own ads. Now, I have an entire other video on how to do this, but I just want to show you the scripting process and spend some time on that, and even give you the same document I use to script all my ads. So if you guys want access to this document, I'm just going to leave in the description. You can go and grab it and you can have access to it right away. Now, one of the first things I personally like to do whenever I'm getting ready to script new ads is go into Claude AI and create a project and get ready to start to prompt it with specific scripts. Now, you might be asking me, Alex, can I use ChatGPT? Absolutely. Feel free to use ChatGPT, whatever is relevant to you. I like Claude a little bit better for the creative process. the messaging and tonality is a little easier and better for me. But if you end up wanting to use Claude and it's just easier for you, then go right ahead. Or sorry, ChatGPT, then go right ahead. So I'm going to use this exact prompt that I like to use. And for the sake of just being consistent here, we're going to just use a standard electric toothbrush. And I'm basically going to prompt the AI to get some more familiarity about my product. I'm going to give it a name. For this sake, we're going to use a mock-up name called the Evo electric toothbrush. And then we're just going to go to Amazon and find the most similar product to our one product that we're trying to drop ship. And real quick, it's also important to note that I personally like to use this type of strategy and format for products that solve a problem for people over the age of 35, right? So if you're looking to do like, you're doing clothing and you're doing like these gimmicky products, this isn't going to make the most sense. But I like to create infomercial style ads that speak to people greater than the age of 35, because that type of style still works and it speaks to that person more, where you're kind of informing them about a problem, providing a little bit of scarcity, and then telling them why your product is the only solution. So again, in the description, you'll be able to get access to my video AI script format. So you could just copy and paste this and just obviously replace the points that are missing. So I'm basically going to tell it, hey, here's a little bit more information about my product. Do some research based off the product description I gave you on Amazon. And Claude's going to take a couple seconds here and kind of start to break down my target demographic: professionals, parents, upper middle class people that have money to spend. What are some 5 major daily pain points? Now, I notice I said daily pain points. This is important to me because I want to make sure that I'm targeting people with a problem that they can easily identify in an ad, right? So what I like to call is, they call this like first world problems. But basically, if you deal with an issue every single day and it's annoying you every single day, when an ad comes across you and and that ad addresses that daily problem, you're more likely to watch more of the ad. And because these are info style ads, I need the hook rate and I need the retention to be good on this. So of course, I'm going to speak to people specifically with a problem. So with the electric toothbrush here, we got coffee stains, gum bleeding and sensitivity, time pressure and ineffective cleaning, product graveyard disappointment, right? Spending all this money on other stuff, and travel hygiene compromise. Okay. So from there, we're going to throw in the next prompt. Now with this next prompt, my goal here is to focus on finding unique marketing angles that I can use a little bit of fear mongering and scarcity with. So it's going to start to break down 10 different styles. The silent recession killer, the dating app death sentence, the hidden disease time bomb, right? You can see that these are very unique strategies in marketing. And one of the tips and secrets that I always like to emphasize here is that if you want to get a higher ROAS, to do that, you have to do one of 2 things: create really, really good ads, and or, right, either one or the other or a combination of both. You have to speak to a market that's very underserved and speak to them in a way that they are normally not spoken to, right? If you think about general teeth whitening ads, most of them are like, hey, you want a wider smile? Get this product. But if we can speak to them about a particular insecurity or fear, there's more money to be made there, because there's this gap in the market that's not being addressed. So people that have photo, issues, they want to take photos, but their teeth don't look the best. Right. So this is a standard product. So the marketing angles might not be the sexiest, but point in case is that we can easily find unique angles that we can speak to. Okay. Passing problems to children and family, the point of no return. Right. So now we're getting a bunch of different angles that we can use. The silent recession killer, job security and professional reputation. So we can go after professionals that are kind of designed to have a good smile, right? So script hook. HR studies show that people with stained teeth earn 20% less. Okay, that's interesting. The dating app death sentence, right? You're getting swiped left because you smile. So this could be interesting, right? How many teeth whitening ads speak to people that are specifically insecure when it comes to going on dating apps or just dating in general because of their smile? Do you understand like how narrow down that is? And there's potential there. And the way I like to do it is, and think about it, is nothing's proven until tested. So I think we could take proven products that have already proven to sell, that are kind of competitive, and find unique angles that we can market this with. So this could be something really cool. I normally like to focus on health, though. I will say, like, this is cool and all, but I want to do something more health driven. So all I'm going to do is tell the AI, hey, can we focus more on health driven consequences. And then now we want to kind of position this as a way where, hey, if you don't take care of your teeth, you are more at risk of dealing with issues. Okay. I have no idea what this is saying though. Alzheimer's, really? Like poor oral hygiene is attacking your brain. Interesting. Pregnant threat. So this could be good, right? Your gum disease could be premature birth or low birth rate, pregnant or planning to be. OBGYNs, women with gum disease are 7 more times. Diabetes, immune system, chronic inflammation. Okay. These are like really unique, specific. Like this is getting to another level more so than like just gum disease, which is interesting. But that's kind of what you want to look for when you're running these types of prompts, right? The bone loss, cascade, respiratory, erectile dysfunction. Wow. Wow. Gum disease, man. No joke, right? Gotta take care of your gums. Okay, so for the sake of just kind of going forward with this, um, let's just go with pregnant that threat. I think this is really good. So now let's follow up with the next prompt in the sequence. So I'm gonna tell the AI, hey, look, I need some hooks now that are informational style hooks, and based off of the different angles you went with, I want to start off by doing angle number 3. So I'm gonna just hit enter there, and now it should give me some different hooks that we can focus on. So did you know that the something as simple as bleeding gums could put your unborn baby at serious risk? In fact, women with gum disease are 7 times more likely to deliver premature. So boom, that is a info style hook that is informing the person and also providing some scarcity and fair mongering. If your OB/GYN hasn't talked to you about this yet, they need to know, because right now, while you're doing everything right, taking your pre-vitamin, blah, 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 blah. Cool. So open looping. So if you're not sure what the concept of open looping is, we're trying to keep people on a cliffhanger, right? The whole point of creating these good ads here is to make sure our hook rate is 50% or greater, meaning what percentage of people are staying for at least 3 seconds and watching the video to, watching it for more than 3 seconds. So this is very important. And we want to do this so people obviously can click on our ad and it's cheaper for them to click on the ad. But we also want to make sure we're attracting the right person as well. Okay, you've heard you lose a teeth for every baby, right? Okay. Breaking. New research reveals a hidden cause of premature birth that affects over 40% of pregnant women and has nothing to do with your diet, your stress levels, or your genes. In the next 60 seconds, you're going to discover why your toothbrush might be the most important pregnancy tool you own. This is critical information every expecting mother needs to hear. Boom. That is a freaking hook if I've ever heard of one, right? So it's information, it's open loop, because notice I didn't just give away like, hey, you should buy this toothbrush because it's going to help whiten your teeth. No, I just said, hey, it's not your diet, it's not your stress level or your genes. It could be your toothbrush, could be the most important pregnancy tool you own. I love that hook. That is a strong freaking hook because it doesn't give away the product right away, but it also catches the attention of the target audience and also provides a little bit of fair, right? Because now I'm a little bit nervous. Like what I'm intrigued, right? Like what could this possibly be? So now let's go on to the next section of the prompt. So what we want to do is build on that, right? Before we just build out an entire script, I need to build on that and making sure that it flows really well. So I like the contrarian angle, which is like, hey, I'm going to contradict what you think this might be. So here's some examples, right? So it's going to give us the hook here. And then now it's going to give us the next 2 to 3 sentences. Now, your doctor has probably told you that bleeding gums during pregnancies are totally normal, just hormones, nothing to worry about. That advice, it's outdated and it's dangerous because while you're being told to relax, the same bacteria causing the bleeding is crossing into your bloodstream and reaching your placenta. This medical community has known about this connection for over a decade, but somehow it's still not a part of the standard prenatal care. Let me show you what they should be telling you. So now, like, we're really roping them in. We're giving them an additional line of cliffhanger where they're like, whoa, what's going on, right? And then from there, we're gonna actually now build out the rest of the script. Once you have a good hook and then you have a good follow-up sentence, you're good to go. And honestly, if we're being honest here, depending on how good your opening hook is, because this is a little bit long for an opening hook, you might not even need this next section. Like you might even want to skip this part if you have a really strong hook like this. Now, granted, if you had a hook that was like 1 or 2 sentences, then I would follow up with this so you can have a really fluffed out opening line. But honestly, like this alone is really good. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna fill out the rest of this example here. So now we're just going to flesh out the rest of this script. And it's going to ask you to give like the main benefits and features. And then just make sure that you attach any pictures or upload any information about the actual product so it can just quickly pull from. I just grabbed these directly from Amazon, so it can actually speak to some clear features. So this is a script, right? Breaking new research reveals a hidden cause of premature births. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. This is a Concherry 2 to 3 sentence liner. And then here's what's actually happening. Every time your gums boom, 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 you're literally leaving 70% of the threat behind every single time you brush. So we're really informing them why that they need to take their brushing seriously, and a standard toothbrush isn't good enough, is putting their life at risk. So now we get pretty much a 60-second script, and you can pause here at any time to read. I think this is a really, really, really good hook here into a good body and script. And I just create like a whole different batch of videos just like this. Sometimes I'll take this and say, great, now take this format and recreate another variation, but keep it between 30 to 45 seconds long. Also remove the headlines of each section of the script and just give me one continuous script. So now I can create different variations, and this info style ad goes really well with some B-roll that lines up with each section, and it's just so good. You don't need AI UGC characters. You don't need a ton of stuff. You could just pull content directly from TikTok. And I have a video. You can go back and watch a couple of videos that I uploaded a video breaking down how I create these video ads. So boom, now you have another kind of like really, really good script here. And then you also have a risk reversal guarantee. I always like to throw that in info style ads, and that should be congruent with the same risk reversal, right? 30, 60-day money back guarantee in your script should also be on your website as well. I also think this is a great opportunity to remind you guys that if you haven't already, definitely check out Social Brands Club. It's an online community that I created that is slowly but surely growing and ensuring that I can help you guys as dropshippers be profitable and successful and scale to $10, $20, $30,000 in one single month, or even more than that, right? And be as profitable as possible. Right now, because of the community size, it allows me to dive in and spend as much time as possible with all you guys. I recommend joining in now before eventually this gets really, really big and it becomes harder for me to help you. So if you do want that personalized helping and coaching without having to spend coaching prices at $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for mentorship, definitely jump on in. This is the lowest price will be at $99 a month. And at any given time, if you don't like the community or you're not getting enough value, just let me know. You can always just easily cancel and then move on with your day. But I have some great course material in there. We do a weekly coaching call, and anytime you can just DM me and I'll provide you detailed feedback on your ads, product selection, your website, whatever you need to help you scale. So let's say you got your ads dialed in. Now, what else can you do to get a higher return on ad spend? Well, one of those big things that people overlook is creating a good offer, right? Most dropshippers either don't create an offer or create the basic quantity discount where it's like, hey, you buy one, great. You buy two, you'll save 10, 20%. If you buy three, you get 25% off. Right. So you're just, doubling up on the same product or tripling up on the same product and expecting people to buy. The key to getting a higher ROAS is actually getting people to spend more money, and you have to incentivize them to do so. So I highly recommend creating complimentary bundle offers. So instead of just selling the electric toothbrush, pair it with a special toothpaste, some floss, and like a free gift, right? People are more likely to actually spend more money if they are getting complementary products that make sense and align with the product, right? It makes sense, right? If I'm going to buy this toothbrush, I might as well buy your specialty toothpaste that is designed to help keep my enamel whiter and rebuild back enamel, right? And I might as well get the floss as well, right? It just makes sense, right? And here's the thing you guys have to understand. We have an advantage over platforms like Amazon, right? Our biggest competitors as dropshippers is ourselves, other dropshippers, and Amazon, right? So the advantage that we have over Amazon is that we can create bundles and offers. So we have to take advantage of it. We can cross-sell different products. Now, Amazon sellers technically could do that on some listings, but we know that most people on Amazon are selling just that product and that's it. So you might as well take advantage and create, bundle offers so you can get people to spend more money. Right? So that's super important. I guess I wrote this here twice. Don't know why. Here's a little easy hack for you too. An easy way to get people to spend more money is to offer them free shipping based on the amount of money they spend. So I go straight into my shipping templates, back into my settings, and on certain products, right, I'll say, hey, look, normally this product is $39.99, plus an additional $5.99 of shipping. But if you get our bundle offer and you spend a certain amount, right? You get this bundle offer, which collectively adds up to be a certain amount. Not only do you get more for your value, but you're also not having to pay for shipping, right? People hate paying for shipping. So you can incentivize them to spend more money, because if it's like, damn, I got to spend $6 on shipping, but if I just add a couple more things to my cart, I can actually, not pay for shipping, and then I get more value for my buck. More people are likely to spend more money by doing so. So a little easy hack there for you. The way you want to set that up is for free shipping, whatever quantity amount you want to set it to, make sure that this price equals or is right around the same price as the bundle offer. And then for standard shipping, every dollar below that should cost money. And I normally charge right around $6. And it's the same thing for international, right? So same thing there. So very, very easy. And last but not least, super important here, logistics. My favorite thing to talk about when it comes to dropshipping. Because honestly, this matters more so than a lot of people give it credit for. So you need to be operating with a 1.5 break-even ROAS, right? So return on ad spend is your ROAS. And your break-even ROAS is just how much you need to spend before you break even. Anything below this, great, you're profitable. Anything above this, that means you're losing money. Okay? So you should also know that, actually, flip that around. Anything below this number, you're losing money. Anything greater than this number, you're making money. So you should also know that what your target CPA is. So these are two basically the same thing. This is basically the same thing, right? So your target CPA, or cost per action, right, is how much money can you spend? What's the exact dollar amount before you start to lose money? Okay. So the biggest thing is stop using Aliexpress, right? You're getting charged the markup price because Aliexpress is connected to a ton of different suppliers. Aliexpress has to make money, right? Because they're connecting you with a ton of different suppliers. So normally this toothbrush, right? It's an electric toothbrush, might go for like $9.99. But if you get a private supplier, you can actually save a couple bucks and get it for $6.99. You save like $3, which goes a long way when it comes to margins. So get a private supplier that works directly with the factory itself instead of using AliExpress, Alibaba, right? This is going to make creating good offers a lot easier too, because you have more margin to work with. So make sure when you are creating these offers and your logistics, to make this a lot easier, you need bundles, you need cart upsells, and you need post-purchase upsells. So after someone makes a purchase on your website, you should be prompting them with, hey, you want to buy what you just bought, but for 50% off? Because anything after that initial purchase is free profit, right? Because the ad spend that you spent to acquire that sale was on the front end when they bought initially, but anything after that is profit, because now it's like, all right, cool, I can now discount this, slash the price in half, and still make an additional $8 to $9 in profit, because now this person that already bought one thing is buying more things. So the goal is to have customers spend more money and keep your break-even ROAS right around 1.5 or lower. I honestly shoot for a 1.3. This makes it also easier with ads as well, because if their break-even ROAS is a 1.3, if your break-even ROAS is 1.3 and my ROAS for a specific campaign is at a 1.9, I'm still profitable. I'm still making money, so I can still scale that up. Now, obviously, the goal here is to be right around a 2.5 or higher on your ROAS. And at scale, your ROAS will go down, so don't panic. If you're spending $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 a day on a campaign, you can expect your ROAS. Let's say you're averaging a 4x at $100 a day. By the time you start spending at $500 to $1,000 a day, you can expect it to be right around a 1.9 to like a 2.3-ish. That's fine though, because you're spending more money, and as long as you're still profitable, you're going to be taking home more money by nature. Okay. So the better you do of increasing your AOV, your average order value, right? The easier it is going to be to run ads and stay high in your ROAS. So your AOV should be about 1.5 to 2x your base price of your offer. So if I'm selling that electric toothbrush for $29.99, I should be shooting for an AOV of right around $45 to $80. Obviously, the higher you go on this, right? If you can 2x this, you're gonna be rolling, right? Realistically, this number should be $60. I just realized, but nevertheless, like you should be right around $45 to $60 if you're selling it for something like this. And obviously, the more you get people to spend, the higher your ROAS will be. Okay, if it's nowhere near this number, then you're leaving money on the table. Another little easy hack for you guys. I literally do this on all my stores, and it works every single time. In your add to cart, add a shipping protection or warranty upsell. To do this, you need to create it as a product and use it as a cart upsell. Use some type of cart upsell tool, or the premium version of Shrine will allow you to do this for free, and create it as an upsell. Since it's a digital product, it's free money and you don't have to worry about refunds or chargebacks. And the perceived value on this is high, meaning people will see that this is checked on. That's another thing, by the way. I leave this as auto checked on. People see that this is checked on and they'll quickly read it and say, oh, it's a 1 year warranty. I might as well just keep it just in case if anything happens to this product, then I mean, I can get a refund or replace the product. But no one ever really ever cares. They'll just add it to their cart and just say whatever. And the way it works for me is I do 1 year warranties for like electronical goods. And then I just do standard shipping protection or shipping insurance for everything else. And as you can see here, protect your order from damage, loss, or theft. Most people leave this, like they'll leave it in their cart. Now you can see here, this is not checked on. So normally I recommend having it automatically check on. And that way people they will have to manually unselect it if they want to remove it from their cart. And most times people just either don't see it and you just walk away with free $6 in profit, or they will see it and just say, okay, cool, that sounds good to me. So I charge anywhere between $4.99 to $5.99. Either one works. Doesn't really matter. People will still pay. Now I wouldn't charge too much more than this because then it's like, that's adding a lot of money. But again, if you're selling a premium price product too, where it's like 40, 50, 60 bucks, then people are more than likely going to keep it on anyway. So definitely something to add in there for free extra money. Cool. So yeah, guys, those are the 3 things to focus on, right? Hopefully you guys gain some great value from this. I'll leave in the description the link to this AI sheet that you can use. And if you guys want as well, you can join Social Brands Club. Shoot me a message and I can audit and review your ads, your store, anything you need to help you become as successful as possible. And with that being said, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Take care.